The attic smelled of old books and dust, the kind of place where time stood still. Jason brushed cobwebs away from a wooden chest, its metal hinges rusted with age. He had been searching through his grandfather's belongings for hours when his fingers brushed against something unusual, a rolled-up parchment hidden beneath a stack of yellowed newspapers. Unfurling it carefully, his breath caught. It was a map. The ink was faded but still legible, the parchment brittle but intact. Strange symbols lined the edges, encircling a path that twisted and turned through what appeared to be a dense forest. Jason's heart pounded. His grandfather had been an adventurer, always rambling on about lost artifacts and ancient mysteries. Most thought he was a madman. But what if he had been telling the truth? That thought alone was enough to make Jason call his two closest friends, Sarah and Marcus. The journey begins. The sun had barely risen when the three of them stood at the edge of the forest, map in hand. "I still can't believe you found this thing in your grandpa's attic," Marcus said, adjusting his backpack. "How do we even know it's real?" Jason smirked. "Only one way to find out." Sarah, ever the skeptic, folded her arms. "So let me get this straight. We're following an old map to some supposed hidden treasure?" Jason pointed to a faded note scribbled in the corner of the parchment. "Follow the path of the forgotten. The truth lies beyond the stone. If it's nothing, we'll turn back," he said. "But if it's real?" Sarah rolled her eyes but couldn't hide her excitement. "Fine, but if we get lost, I'm blaming you." With that, they stepped into the trees, leaving behind the safety of the modern world. The forest of secrets. The deeper they went, the quieter it became. At first, birds chirped, and the wind rustled through the trees. But as the sunlight dimmed beneath the thick canopy, an eerie stillness took over. "I don't like this," Marcus muttered. "It's too quiet." Jason, focused on the map, ignored him. "We should be close. The cave entrance is nearby." Sarah scouted ahead, brushing her fingers against the rough bark of an ancient tree. Then she froze. Something was watching them. The feeling crawled along her spine, an instinctive warning she couldn't shake. Her eyes darted across the thick foliage, searching for movement. "Guys," she whispered. Before she could finish, a shadow flickered between the trees. Jason and Marcus turned, scanning the forest. "What was that?" Marcus asked, voice tense. Jason hesitated. "Probably an animal." But the feeling of unseen eyes never left them. The cave entrance minutes later, they found it. A massive rock formation jutted out from the hillside, half covered in vines. At its base, a dark entrance yawned open, leading into the unknown. Sarah exhaled. "This is it." Jason checked the map again. "The note says the truth lies beyond the stone." He gestured toward the cave. "This must be what my grandfather meant." Marcus shined a flashlight inside. The beam barely penetrated the darkness. "I have a bad feeling about this." Jason took a deep breath. No turning back now. They stepped inside. The discovery. The temperature dropped instantly, and the air smelled of damp earth and something metallic. Their footsteps echoed as they moved deeper, flashlights bouncing off the cave walls. That's when they saw them. Markings, carved into the stone, stretching from floor to ceiling. Intricate symbols covered every surface. Jason ran his fingers over them. These don't look like anything I've seen before." Sarah snapped photos while Marcus jotted down notes. "Maybe this place was once inhabited," he suggested. Then, without warning, the ground trembled. A deep rumbling vibration spread through the cave, shaking loose dust from the ceiling. Jason staggered. "What the hell was that?" Sarah gasped. "Earthquake?" Marcus asked, steadying himself. Jason shook his head. "No, that came from deeper inside." The device. As they pressed forward, the tunnel widened into a vast underground chamber, and at its center stood something impossible. A massive metallic structure, half buried in the rock, pulsed with faint blue lights. The same symbols from the walls lined its edges, glowing softly. Jason's breath hitched. This isn't a ruin!" Marcus swallowed hard. "Then what is it?" Sarah circled the structure, eyes wide. "It looks alien," Jason hesitated. Could it be? His grandfather had spoken of finding something extraordinary, something beyond human understanding. What if this is what he found? Jason whispered. Marcus took a cautious step forward. And what if it's dangerous? But Jason wasn't listening anymore. His fingers brushed against one of the glowing symbols. The cave erupted in light. A leap through time, a force ripped through them, blinding, overwhelming. Jason felt his body being pulled in every direction at once, as if reality itself was folding. Sarah screamed. Marcus shouted something Jason couldn't hear. Then silence. When the light faded, Jason gasped for air. The scent of damp stone was gone, replaced by something metallic. He opened his eyes. The cave was gone. They were standing in the middle of a colossal city, its skyline dominated by sleek towers of glowing metal. Hovering vehicles zipped past in complete silence, leaving trails of blue vapor. The sky shimmered, not with stars, but with floating holograms displaying symbols they now recognized. Jason's heart pounded. "Where are we?" Sarah turned in a slow circle, her hands trembling. "We're not in the past," Marcus pointed at the towering structures. "These symbols, they match the ones in the cave." Jason's stomach twisted. The cave wasn't an ancient ruin. It was a portal. The truth revealed. They soon learned the alien beings were scientists, monitoring Earth from afar. Another faction of aliens opposed them, believing Earth's fate was sealed and should unfold naturally. These rebels had tried to sabotage the temporal device. Jason's grandfather had once protected the device, ensuring Earth's timeline remained stable. Now the explorers faced a choice: return home or help stabilize history to prevent catastrophic fractures. But as they debated, a sudden tremor rocked the ground. The portal's blue glow flickered dangerously. "We're running out of time," Marcus shouted. Jason realized that if the portal collapsed, they would be stranded in this future city, or worse, trapped in a chaotic rift between timelines. They had to act fast.